Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Speak Up. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been walking this English learning journey with us for a while, we're so happy you're here. Seriously, thank you for showing up. We know this isn't easy. We know that you're probably busy, maybe even tired, and yet you still hit play because you're serious about improving. That's powerful. And if nobody's told you this lately, we're proud of you. Now let's get real for a second. How many times have you known the words you want to say, but the moment you try to speak, nothing comes out? It's like your brain knows the vocabulary, but your mouth just can't put it together. That can be so frustrating, like having all the puzzle pieces, but no picture to follow. And that's exactly what today's episode is here to solve.
Exactly, Ryan. And I want to start by reminding everyone listening, you don't need to be perfect to speak English. You really don't. Perfection is not what makes someone a good communicator. What matters is being clear and confident. And the truth is, confidence grows when things feel easier. And that's what we're here for today. The title of this episode is How to Build English Sentences in Seconds. And yes, we mean it. We're going to show you how to speak faster and smarter by focusing on how fluent speakers actually build sentences. And spoiler alert, it's not by thinking about grammar rules all the time. It's about using something much simpler and much more effective. And once you understand how it works, I promise you'll feel lighter, faster, and way more confident when you speak.
Let me ask you something, and just be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone asked you something simple and you just froze? Not because you didn't understand, and not because you didn't know the vocabulary, but because your brain was struggling to build the sentence. That blink moment, that hesitation, it's such a common experience, and I want you to know it's not your fault. The reason this happens isn't because you're bad at English. It's because you've been taught to overthink grammar instead of learning how to use natural sentence patterns. Fluent speakers don't pause to check grammar rules in their minds. They speak in patterns. And here's the good news. These patterns are easy to learn, and once they're in your brain, they stay there.
Absolutely. And you know what? Here's the crazy part. You probably already know most of the words you need to speak well. You just haven't learned how to organize them quickly. But that's about to change. By the end of today's episode, you'll be able to build clear, natural English sentences like, I'm going to buy something for her, or he gave the book to me, without pausing, without overthinking, and without worrying if it's perfect. That's our goal for today, to give you the structure and the mindset that fluent speakers use, so you can stop hesitating and start flowing. So if you've ever struggled to form a sentence when you really wanted to speak up, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
All right, let's begin with the most important building block of any English sentence. And it might surprise you how simple it is. Every sentence, no matter how short or long, begins with just two parts, the subject and the verb. That's it. And this tiny structure, just two words, is where every confident English sentence begins. For example, I eat. That's a full sentence. It has a subject, I, and a verb, eat. You can already communicate something meaningful with just that. Isn't that powerful? You don't need big, complicated grammar. You just need a strong foundation. And that starts here.
I love that, Ryan, because this is something every learner can start using right now. Think about how many simple combinations you can create. Like, she works, they run, we live. These are real, complete, everyday sentences. And here's the beautiful thing. Even advanced speakers, even native speakers, use these basic formats all the time. The difference is, they're not thinking about the grammar anymore. They've just practiced these structures so often that their brain knows them automatically. And that's exactly where we want our listeners to get, to that place where it feels natural.
Yes, and here's something to really hold on to. When you master this subject plus verb structure, your confidence starts to grow. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop overthinking every word, because now you have something solid to stand on. Let's say you walk into a room and someone asks what you're doing. You don't have to panic. You can calmly say, I study, or I teach, or I wait. Simple, clear, strong. These small sentences carry so much power when you say them with confidence.
Exactly, and I've seen it so many times. The moment someone gets comfortable with just the subject and the verb, something changes. Their whole energy shifts. The panic disappears. Why? Because they finally realize, wait a minute, I can speak. And you really can. You already have these words in your vocabulary. You just need to start using them more intentionally. Try it now. Just say out loud, he speaks. They walk. We wait. Doesn't that feel good? It's not about long sentences, it's about clarity.
You're right, Priya. Sometimes learners feel pressure to make long, impressive sentences, but that's not what fluency is about. Fluency is about flow, and flow begins with short, strong foundations. So if you can get really comfortable with just two-word sentences, I go, she laughs, we play, you're already way ahead. And honestly, simplicity is power. The simpler your structure, the more your brain can relax. And when your brain relaxes, your words start to come faster and easier.
I couldn't agree more. So if you're listening right now, here's a small challenge. Try making 10 subject-verb sentences today. Keep them short, keep them clear, say them out loud. Feel the rhythm. This is your foundation. And once it's strong, you can build anything on top of it. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to think in English. And this is where it begins.
So now that we've built a strong foundation with subject plus verb, let's take the next simple step, and that's adding a direct object. Think of it like this. If I eat is the start of your sentence, then I eat what? That's where the object comes in. For example, I eat breakfast. Suddenly, your sentence feels full. It tells a complete story. She likes becomes she likes music. They read becomes they read books. These small additions give your sentence purpose. They show what the action is about. And the best part? You already know these words. You just need to connect them with the verbs you're using.
That's so true, Ryan. And to everyone listening, don't worry about using difficult vocabulary here. This step isn't about sounding fancy or advanced. It's just about adding one more idea, a person, a thing, or a topic that makes the action more meaningful. When you say, he watches, that's a sentence. But when you say, he watches TV, now it makes complete sense. We drink becomes, we drink water. It's so natural and it brings clarity. And when your sentence makes sense to you, it will make sense to the person listening too. That's what makes you feel understood.
Yes, and this is actually the moment where your sentence starts to feel complete, like there's a full thought being shared. You're not just saying, I'm doing something, you're saying what you're doing. And that gives your speaking power. I want you to notice something here. You're still using short, simple words. Nothing complicated. You're just building with intention. For example, they cook dinner. I write emails. She sings songs. It's all within your reach. You don't need more words, you just need to combine them in a natural way.
Exactly, and this is where learners often start to feel the shift. When you realize that just adding one extra word can complete your sentence, you stop feeling like you need long phrases to sound fluent. You can speak simply and clearly. That's the goal. So try this. Take your subject plus verb and ask yourself, what? She reads what? She reads books. They play what? They play football. This tiny question helps your brain complete the sentence naturally. No pressure, no confusion.
And here's something powerful. When you practice this step slowly, your brain starts to create patterns. You'll begin to notice how natural it feels to finish your thoughts. You won't even realize you're doing it. It'll just start to happen automatically. Like, we eat. Your brain already wants to say lunch. I drive. Your brain wants to say a car. That's not grammar, that's fluency. And you're building it right now, one simple step at a time.
So Take a deep breath and let yourself go slow with this. There's no rush. Let each sentence come out clearly and completely. Try saying a few out loud. He drinks tea. They build houses. You speak English. See how those feel? Simple, right? But they work. You're not just speaking English, you're building meaning. And every complete sentence you say makes your speaking stronger, smoother, and more natural. This is the real progress. And it's happening already.
All right, now that you're building complete sentences with subject, verb, and object, let's add just a little more power. This step is about giving your sentence direction using two very small but super useful words, to and for. These words help explain who something is going toward or why the action is happening. And believe me, they make your sentences feel more natural, more real. Let's take a simple sentence. I gave the book. That's clear, but something feels missing, right? Now add one word, to. I gave the book to her. That's it. Complete. Smooth. Real. That's the power of direction.
Yes, and the same goes for. Let's try this one. He made tea. It's already a good sentence, but now add for me. He made tea for me. Instantly, it becomes more personal, more emotional, more useful. These tiny words may seem simple, but they unlock so much expression. They help you describe not just the action, but the connection between people. And that's what language is really about, connection. When you say, she bought a gift for him, you're not just giving information, you're sharing something that feels complete, thoughtful, and real.
Exactly. And the beauty here is how little you need to add. Just two words, to or for, and your sentence goes from basic to full of meaning. Try saying a few with us. I wrote a letter to my friend. They cooked dinner for their parents. She sent flowers to her teacher. Doesn't that feel natural? You don't need to force long explanations. These phrases do the job perfectly. And the more you practice them, the faster they'll come to you.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who feels nervous, don't overthink this. You already use these words in your native language all the time. All we're doing now is showing you how they work in English. It's not about memorizing complicated rules. It's about noticing the patterns. To is usually used when something moves in a direction. I sent an email to you. For is used when something is done to help or benefit someone. I made lunch for you. That's really it. Just focus on saying it clearly, and your meaning will come through every time.
And one more thing, using to and for helps you sound polite and thoughtful when you speak. Think about this. Can you bring coffee versus can you bring coffee for me? See the difference? It's small, but it matters. It shows care, respect, and intention. So don't ignore these little words. They're actually big tools for fluent English. Keep practicing them, and you'll start feeling how natural they are.
So here's a small task you can try today. Take 5 simple sentences and just add to or for at the end. Say them out loud. Feel the flow. Like, he read a story to the kids, or they bought pizza for us. These tiny changes turn basic sentences into useful, real communication. With just 2 extra words, your sentence becomes complete and useful. That's the beauty of learning English step by step. Small words, big progress.
Now that your sentences have structure and direction, let's take them one step further by adding something that brings them to life: time and place. When you add when something happens or where it happens, your sentence suddenly feels more real, more connected to everyday life. And the best part? This doesn't make your sentence harder, it actually makes it easier to relate to. For example, I study. That's a good sentence. But listen to this. I study at night. Now it feels like something you actually do. You're not just speaking English, you're telling a story about your life.
Exactly, Ryan. And this is where English really starts to feel natural. Let's try another one. She works. Now add on weekends. So becomes she works on weekends. instantly that sentence has more meaning, more context, more personality. These time expressions like in the morning, at 5 p.m., every Saturday are things you already think about in your daily life. We all live in time, right? So adding it to your sentence just makes sense. And the best part? You don't have to memorize anything new. Just describe what's real for you.
You're right, Priya, and it's the same with place. Adding where something happens makes your sentence even clearer. Let's take this one. They live. Simple, right? Now say, they live in Canada. Suddenly it becomes real. It has a setting, a location. You can feel it. And you can build so many sentences just like that. She studies at the library. I work in an office. We eat at home. You're not making things more complicated. You're just giving your listener a complete picture.
Yes, and when you say where and when something happens, your sentence suddenly feels like your real life. That's what makes it stick in your memory. It's not just words anymore, it's you. These small phrases like on Monday, after school, at the park, they help your brain connect the sentence to something familiar. That's why it feels easier to remember. You're not translating or guessing, you're just describing your world in English. And when your English reflects your life, it becomes part of you.
That's so well said. I want everyone listening to try something right now. Think of a basic sentence like, I walk. Now add when and where. I walk in the evening, or I walk to the station every morning. Doesn't that feel more natural, more complete? This is the kind of English that sticks because it's not just correct, it's personal. You're speaking from experience, and when you do that, you stop worrying about grammar and start enjoying the conversation.
So here's a simple practice for today. Take 5 basic sentences and add either time, place, or both. Keep them true to your life. I cook at night. He plays cricket on Sundays. We meet at the cafe. Let these words bring your English to life. You don't need to sound perfect, you just need to sound real. And real sentences come from real moments. That's how you grow. One clear, personal sentence at a time.
All right, now that you're building complete sentences and adding time and place, let's show you something that'll really speed up your fluency: sentence patterns. These are simple, repeatable frames that fluent speakers use all the time, without thinking. You don't need to build every sentence from scratch. You can just slide in the pieces. That's the beauty of patterns. For example, I want to is one of the most common English frames. You can say, I want to learn English, I want to go outside, I want to watch a movie. See? You're not changing the structure, just the last part. It's easy, fast, and powerful.
Exactly, Ryan. These patterns work like magic. Once you learn the frame, you can use it in so many different ways. Another great one is, I'm going to. Like, I'm going to the market. Or, I'm going to call my friend. You can use this every day in real life. And here's the best part. Your brain starts to remember the rhythm. You'll hear yourself saying it naturally without even trying. That's when you know fluency is kicking in. So don't be afraid to say them out loud again and again. The more you speak them, the faster they'll stick.
Let's try one more together. Can you? This one is perfect for questions. Can you help me? Can you wait a second? Can you explain that? It's polite, simple, and so useful. These are the types of sentences you'll actually use in conversations. And the great thing is, they don't need to be long. You're just plugging in real-life actions. So instead of thinking, how do I form a question with grammar rules? Just use the pattern. Can you plus verb. Done. Clear, confident.
I really want our listeners to feel this. These patterns are your tools. They're like little maps you can follow when you don't know what to say. And when you use them, people understand you clearly. That builds confidence. That creates momentum. You don't have to invent perfect sentences every time. You just choose the pattern that fits and fill in the blank. Think of it like building with Legos. You already have the shapes. You just have to click them together.
And that's the emotional shift, isn't it? When you realize you don't have to remember everything, just a few patterns, suddenly English doesn't feel so overwhelming. You have something solid to lean on. You feel prepared. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one of these frames and use it at least 5 times today. Say it out loud. I want to. I'm going to. Can you? Just fill in the action each time, like, I want to speak better. I'm going to practice tonight. Can you repeat that? That's how you build fluency, not through pressure, but through rhythm and repetition.
Yes, so don't wait for the perfect moment. Practice these frames now, wherever you are. Say them in the mirror, whisper them while walking, or write them down in your notebook. Use them in your daily English practice. Say them aloud, again and again. Let your mouth and your mind get used to the feel of them. That's how real speaking confidence is born. You're not memorizing random phrases, you're learning patterns that open the door to thousands of sentences. Keep going. Your fluency is growing every single time you speak.
Now let's move into something that really makes your English flow, connecting ideas. So far, we focused on building strong, simple sentences. But now we're going to show you how to link those thoughts together using words like and, but, because, and so. These may look small, but they're incredibly powerful. They let your ideas stretch out and breathe. For example, I was tired, so I slept early. Two short thoughts joined with one little word, and now the sentence has a natural rhythm. This is what makes your English sound smooth and confident.
That's such an important step, Ryan, because when you start joining your ideas like that, you're no longer just speaking, you're communicating. Let me give you another one. She likes tea, but I prefer coffee. You feel that contrast, right? That's what but does. It shows a difference. Or this one, he called me because he needed help. That tiny word, because, it adds a reason, it explains. These small connectors are like emotional glue. They hold your thoughts together and suddenly your sentence feels whole, personal, alive.
And here's the thing. These words aren't difficult. You already know them. You've heard them 100 times. Now it's time to use them. These tiny words are like bridges. They connect your thoughts. They carry your ideas from one point to the next. That's why fluent speakers use them constantly. Not to sound fancy, but to sound clear. Try saying this: I wanted to go out, but it started raining. Or she was late, so we waited. It's easy to follow. It sounds natural. It sounds like you.
Yes, and once you start connecting your sentences like this, your speech becomes more relaxed, more natural, more you. You don't feel stuck after each sentence wondering what to say next because now you have a way to keep the thought moving. I went to the market and I bought apples. I stayed home because I had a cold. You're not just stacking words anymore, you're flowing with them. And that's such a beautiful feeling when it starts to happen in real time.
Here's something I want every listener to try. Take two simple sentences and just link them. Don't try to make it perfect. Just speak. Like, he studies English. He wants a better job. Now, join them. He studies English because he wants a better job. That's it. That one connector turned two ideas into one real message. And every time you do that, your fluency gets stronger. You're not just learning English, you're thinking in English.
So, here's a soft reminder to everyone listening. Don't rush it. Just practice a few of these each day. Start with and, but, because, and so. Say them out loud. Feel how they change the rhythm. Feel how they make your thoughts smoother. You're learning how to move between ideas, and that's where true fluency lives. These tiny connectors give your sentences life. Keep building, keep flowing. You're doing better than you think.
Finally, let's talk about fluency. Not the kind where you speak like a robot or memorize a long list of rules. I'm talking about real fluency, the kind that happens when you feel safe enough to just speak. No pressure, no fear, just your voice connecting the thoughts inside your mind to the words you already know. Right now, we're going to guide you through a short practice, and we'll do it together. I'll say the beginning of the sentence, Priya will complete it, and then you'll have a few seconds to repeat after us. Let the words roll off your tongue. Don't worry about sounding perfect, just speak. That's how fluency grows. Ready? Let's begin slowly with your first frame.
Okay, here we go. Ryan says, I want to. Now, take a pause and repeat that out loud with me. I want to improve my English. Good. Let's try another one. Ryan says, they are going to. Now you say with me, they are going to the park. Now listen again. Ryan says, can you? And now together, can you help me with this? Just breathe and say it slowly. Don't rush. Let your voice follow ours like music. Fluency isn't about speed, it's about connection. You're not just repeating, you're practicing the way fluent speakers think.
Let's keep going. You're doing great. The more you speak out loud, the more comfortable you'll feel. Okay, next one. I say, she likes, and now Priya says, she likes music, but I like silence. Now, repeat it out loud. Feel the contrast between the two ideas. It flows, doesn't it? Let's try another. I say, we study, and then say, we study at night because it's quiet. Take your time, repeat after us, just feel how the ideas link together. These are the exact kinds of patterns that fluent English speakers use every day, and now you are too.
That's the magic of these frames. You don't need to invent new sentences all the time. You can reuse powerful patterns and just change a few words. That's how your brain starts to relax. That's how speaking becomes easier. Let's do two more together. Ryan says, he called me, and now I say, he called me because he needed help. Go ahead, say it with me. You're not just copying, you're training your fluency muscle. Last one. Ryan says, I was tired, and I say, I was tired, so I slept early. Simple, natural, real. These are the moments when learning becomes living.
If you've been speaking with us just now, even in a whisper, even in your mind, that means you're making progress. That's what matters. Not grammar, not speed, just effort, just presence. You showed up today and you spoke. You didn't wait for the perfect sentence, you used your voice. And that's what fluency is made of. Moments like this. So keep going. Say these frames again later today. Say them tomorrow. Say them until your brain doesn't need to think. It just speaks.
So take a deep breath and feel proud of yourself. You didn't just learn about English today, you practiced in English. That's a huge step. And remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Just repeat a few patterns each day, add your own words, speak to yourself, whisper while cooking, practice while walking. The more your tongue touches the rhythm, the more natural it becomes. You are not behind. You are not slow. You are exactly where you need to be, and your English is growing moment by moment, word by word.
And that's it for today's episode. We really hope this helped you feel more confident about building English sentences, step by step with ease and clarity. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being real, consistent, and kind to yourself while you learn. Thank you so much for joining us today. It really means a lot that you spent your time with us.
Yes, thank you, truly. Every time you listen, repeat, and try, you're moving forward. We're so proud of the progress you're making, and we'll be right here with you in the next episode. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking up. Take care, and bye for now.